All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful day. This has been not just only a crazy week. I'm used to telling you that this was one for the history books, but today, my friends, it literally was the history book. It was your largest one day market cap change ever. And from bottom to top, this is the largest price move since Lehman Brothers. So add that to record volume, never before seen. And now you can see where we're at now. I just powered through all these charts for you because you have to understand today was an absolutely insane day. You got what we were talking about, the random rumor that changed everything. But this time, it wasn't a rumor. It was confirmed by Donald Trump after he tweeted in the morning on Truth Social to buy stocks that it was a good time. So, Chatadonia, this is absolutely crazy. We were even going to start a ETF long-term today, and I wasn't able to because apparently you can't buy fractionals on Schwab. I didn't know that. I found that out today. I know, yeah, but when it's all said and done, Chatadonia, a lot of things just changed today. You had a 90-day pause on all the tariffs except for China, and it changed some things about the bond market. So I hope you guys are ready, man. I have so much to talk about. I don't think you guys realize this was insanity, the plays, all the way down to what could have happened. I don't know if you guys really grasp this situation, but I think we learned a lot of things today. And I have a lot to show you, man. And I'm post-leg day, too, so I'm just taking everything in, man. You know that? It's a wild day, bro. Well, how you doing, baby? Good evening. Good evening. It is. It's members only again. I'm a tease. I know. Call it what you... They do. They didn't watch it before. I did tell them for a limited time only. I don't know. YouTube shows me the watch list to more people if it's members only. Y'all don't feel me, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. Blame YouTube. Don't blame anybody. Just blame not getting a long term. And we'll talk about the long term. But, dude, everything. I love you, Chad. How are you doing? What up, Oosh? What up, broski? What up, Hanny? Brandon, PNC in the house, baby. Adam, James, Ken, C-Rod, Shard Bell, baby. What up, Noah, J-Dog, Caleb Wilson, paying the plug. Oh, thank you, my friend. Mr. Fierros. Hey, man, it's a finger to the sky, bro. You know, honestly, all of it. All of it. What up, Pink? What up, Awaska? What up, Cantology? Caesar, Diaz, Jason, you mad? What up, baby? Jacobin. Dakota. Oh, what up, baby? Lock and load. Are you ready? What up, Jos? What up, Open Pace? What up, Wes? Oh, my goodness. CYB, baby. Malik. See, bro, it's popping. The chat is popping right now. This is insane. Insane, bro. Dude, it's crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy. If I missed you, I love you, man. For real. We have so much to talk about. I mean, I just powered through like 5 different charts. That's Stream Alert Chad. He's hella happy, so I'm proud of him, but he played way too big. I don't know how he did that. Yeah. What? That's the elephant in the room, mother. It's crazy, bro. So many records today. NASDAQ, rate of change. You haven't seen a 11% move since literally '08. I was telling you guys, I haven't seen moves like this. Not only have we had moves on bonds that literally I haven't seen in my life, or we've only seen very rarely. I was telling you guys, some of this stuff, I was like, I've never seen this before. And even today, this move, bro, everything from how low we are to like, this is the definition of a God candle. This is real. You would think in most scenarios that this candle was fake. That's what I'm telling you, bro. It's absolutely insane, and it comes with good and bad. I hope you guys realize that because, yeah, woo, so excited. But, yeah, like I said, since Lehman Brothers, that's not good. So when it's all said and done, we're going to talk about it. Today definitely brought us some relief. But, yeah, you're not sharing a good set of history when it's all said and done. And, you know, I still think we're going to have extreme volatility. But you definitely got a collective sigh of relief from all around the world, man. So right off the bat, you are now only down 2% since Liberation Day. So that's kind of crazy, but the crazy part about it is that now the bond move doesn't look that ridiculous. As crazy as that may sound, but I don't think the bond market was correct. I don't think you guys get this. I had to explain this. I had to explain this to my girlfriend. I had to explain this to lending tips because I don't think people really comprehend. I don't even comprehend the word comprehend right now because you are at the brink of disaster, Chattadonia. And what I mean by that is, quite frankly, I don't think the bond market was like, yeah, this is all fake. Even though I told you it's all fake until the bond market moves, but I really think the bond market was about to implode. And what I mean by that, and a lot of people asked me, and this is how I summed it up. This is how I got my girlfriend and lending tips to understand it. Are you ready? Long story short, if, let's say, today didn't happen, and I think that's a very, I guess we'll never know. It's the number one champion. Okay, but let's imagine today didn't happen. Let's say that you were going down. If you were watching live on stream, not only did we make a wicked call play, you could go see it on my Twitter. I'll show you after, but we were talking about a bond auction. Because I was telling you what's going on with TLT. This is absolutely not normal. And I was telling you, I've never seen this. A lot of people, even with careers longer than mine, we're starting to get a little worried. Again, even Donald Trump addressed this today. But fact of the matter was, we were dying. Bonds were dying again. You still had the gap down, everything. And there was a 10-year bond auction. And we were talking about this auction failing because overnight, word started spreading about a problem in the bond market. Again, people were talking about this. They're like, basis trade. Now it's this. Now it's that. Long story short, like I told you guys, you didn't need to try to figure it out. You just had to realize that the lights were flashing. You know, you don't need to understand how coolant systems work. You just need to know when it's overheating. And that's why I was trying to tell you guys, this isn't normal. This volatility is absolutely wild. Okay? But when it's all said and done, the craziest part was that this bond auction, if you ended up failing it, what would have happened? If you had the bond auction today, the 10-year, if that ended up failing, a.k.a. nobody showed up, the dealers had to take it down, that would have been the first, major failure with everything going on. And this is the way that I summed it up. You're going to think I'm insane. Very simple. If this kept going and that bond auction failed and nobody ended up pivoting in any way, shape, and form, I really think by the end of the next week, you would have had a fucking bank run. That's what I mean was at stake. And that's where I'm trying to say, that's what I was explaining, because I'm like, yeah, you just dodged a bullet, you guys. You have no idea. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter who bought the bonds, because that auction ended up being good, and this was the funny part about today. Here's my theory, and we were talking about it live. Why are these charts so crazy? But quite simply, let me turn off the wire. But this was the bond auction. It ended up not being bad. Bonds went up. I was saying, be careful, though. It's not just because it was a good bond auction doesn't mean the uncertainty went away. But then about 20 minutes later, that's when the news came in. And then the news that came in today was that, one, the first news, I bought puts first. I ended up losing on puts. I was in calls by the time I was even able to stream alert it, because the first set of news was an increase on China. And Trump said, I'm raising it again. And he raised the tariffs on China. You started dumping down. And again, this is 20 minutes after the bond auction. And then he announced the 90-day pause on everybody else. And then you started ripping up. But my theory was simply this. I think the bond market was terrible. Even if you were watching the futures last night, bonds were even worse. And Donald Trump even addressed it. He said people were getting queasy. And he even noticed it. But I think they had this ready to go. Like we said, I told you guys, you already got a taste of what a trade deal will do earlier in the week. But when it's all said and done, this right here, I think they had it ready to go because the bond market was about to die. I'm telling you. So I guess we'll never know. And that was a very big deal. So that being said, oh shit, where did I put the other chart? I was like, oh shit, my SPY chart is missing. But here's the deal. This is what I want you to realize now. You actually got big info. So this was a pivot to some degree. You could say Trump caved. You could call it whatever you want. I don't care. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could call me whatever you want. I fucking killed all of this. I made this whole 3 months my bitch, respectfully. And I hope you did too. But call it whatever you want, right? It doesn't matter. This was a change in pivot. And we learned something today. We learned 2 very big pieces of info. Number 1, after the bell, this is why China is going up right now. Trump said he does not see tariffs on China going higher. Okay? So that is a glass ceiling. So after the bell, Trump put this, he even said, okay, maybe it won't even go higher. That's good, because now you know Trump's limit on China. But I call it a glass ceiling because it's Donald Trump, and that could change tomorrow for all we know. But for now, we're operating under the temporary premise that he has a limit on China until he doesn't. So that's a really big piece of info. Keep that in mind, okay? Number 2 now. Remember, everybody was looking for the Trump put. They wanted to know when Trump was going to cave. Like I'm saying, whether he caved, he called it flexibility. I don't care. You guys could argue it. That's fine. All that matters is that they changed the reaction. Something changed today, and he put the 90-day pause. That slowed everything down. Now it's not this dramatic, oh my gosh, how are we going to build it? This doesn't make sense to calculate. I can't even do it that fast. What are we going to do? This bought time. Like I said, I tweeted it. It's hilarious. Now you have to wait 90 days before your local car dealer tries to get you to panic buy a damn vehicle again. if that makes any sense. But this is a very, very big deal when it's all said and done, though, because now you actually have a cooling down, and now the uncertainty still remains. Make no mistake. That's why I'm saying I think you bought a little bit of time here, but I don't think it really changes. You know, you're going to be in extreme volatility, my friends. We're not escaping that, but now you know kind of what it will take. But this isn't a coincidence, you guys. Especially, and I love you, because if you have been watching, you know it, damn it. But like, yo, it wasn't a Trump put. He didn't care about the stock market. I agree. I don't think he cared one piece about it. I think it had everything to do with the bond market. I think it was a bond put. That's the new Trump put. It's that 4-5 leading into 5%. They can't handle that. And I really believe that. You know why? You want to know why I believe that? This is why I believe it. Because I believe that at the beginning of the year when we were at this level and we were saying nothing matters because if the bonds go lower, we're going to start getting into problems. You remember that? You already dealt with this at the beginning of the year. And then we walked away from the level and all was well. But remember, it was the same exact story. That bond yield getting too high is a problem. And that's the put now, I think. I think objectively, or let me put this another way, because objectively isn't the word. I think the administration's objective, they don't want the yields to go too high. Because that's what I was saying. I think overnight they were watching the bonds. Even Trump said it. I've never heard Joe Biden ever say the word bonds. I don't think. Can anybody find that for me? I don't think I've ever heard Joe Biden say the word bonds, okay? And to hear yeah, they were getting queasy. They were queasy. Look at it now. It's fine. And we're going to talk about it, but I guess I'll ruin the surprise because this was big, and this is going to have to do with the plays and everything when we start talking about it. But something big shifted because like we're talking about here, and I told you this on Monday. We were saying that rumor. You remember that rumor the fake rumor, and we got lucky and we got out of all of our little dead calls. You remember that? Yeah, that was all fun and shit, right? But then I was telling you, you got a sample. That's what I told you on the watch list. It was literally a sample. We even talked about it. This is exactly what they did in 2018. Right when everybody was getting absolutely terrified, you get a trade deal. That's why I was telling you. I was like, even yesterday, I was like, bro, just watch out for that big trade deal, because I don't think people understood how potent it would be when you get this fearful. You only had this in 2018. But just hear me out. Look at this right now. This is TLT overlaid with the SPY. So look at what happened. When they put out the fake rumor on Monday, you went up 200-300 points. It was amazing, right? It was crazy. This is TLT. What did TLT do? TLT dumped. And ever since then, TLT has been getting murdered. But now, today, the same thing, but this time confirmed and real. The bonds get a fucking rip off of it. That's a big difference in the last couple of weeks. And now, for a brief little window, you watch SPY and bonds move together. You haven't seen that in a little bit. So, yeah, this was, again, and I think this is very critical. Why? Because that's your snitch in the future. And here's the deal. Don't cling. Listen, you should believe in Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should believe in God and cling to the Lord, my friend. He will guide you. But don't cling to this idea, because what I'm telling you is that for now, we could kind of use it as an indicator for the future, but just be prepared to abandon everything. Do you understand? Because now in the future, TLT might really be the snitch, whereas they don't want it to go lower. So watch out for it, but who knows? Maybe at one day they might abandon that idea. But for now, the Trump put is the bonds. I think, and a lot of people get this now. And I'm not the only one saying this. And again, do you realize what happened in I think it was 73 minutes? I can't make this up. Goldman Sachs today changed their forecast to a recession. And then 73 minutes later, switched it back and rescinded that call. Do you understand? And like I'm saying, you can let the political people argue he caved, he's a bitch. I'm being flexible. It's a difference. There's a difference, a big difference. Let them argue about it. Who gives a shit? But now with the banks and everybody, they're viewing this as the pivot for now. You see what I'm saying? It's all temporary. So that's why I'm saying you're going to get craziness and we're going to move. But for now, you know the temporary put, the temporary pivot, and that's all that really matters for now. So absolutely crazy. I think a lot of people, again, they got very certain in different ways, but we got a lot. It's going to be crazy moving forward. So that being said now, this is what I was warning you about yesterday. Not only did I tell you, watch out for the trade rumor and how important those could be, but this is what I said today, and I still think this applies right now, even after what happened today. The danger right now, between now and the end of the year, is called certainty. Did you not even hear me prior? I just told you. Bro, be prepared to abandon everything. If you haven't looked at what you're ready to hold or not, then you better make that decision. Do you understand? Because right now, the killer from now till the end of the year, it's just going to be thinking or that, oh yeah, we're real bullish now. I could trust this and buy at highs. No, you can't. Oh yeah, Donald Trump hates all of his constituents. He's going to fuck it up. He's terrible. I should short this at the low. No. Do you get what I'm saying? Even yesterday, why was the bond market telling me it knows exactly what's going to happen in terms of the range of rates? Huh? That's dangerous. Right now, the only danger is walking into any financial situation thinking that you can be certain. Now, is that bad and can that hurt things? It can, because that's literally uncertainty. But at the end of the day, I think with the trades, even the long term, understand the direction of things, but just make sure you don't fall into the trap of certainty. Okay? Because even today now is a big rally, but like I was telling you yesterday, we have a big event on Friday. And literally now, you have a 12% cushion. I even told you, I said, what if it rips? I did not think it would rip like that. That was a massive. But at the end of the day, you still got to deal with that consumer sentiment, that blue hair data. You know it's gonna be bad. So how is the market gonna take it now? Or was this move today in the pause, is that now enough to outweigh the negative sentiment? So that's going to be really important, because now on Friday, hear me out. Friday, it's either going to mess with all of your trades and kind of, add cold water to all of this by Friday, or it's going to come out, it's going to be bad, and then the market's going to be like, yeah, fuck you, we don't care anymore. And then they're going to take it for another day up until Monday. Those are your two options. I think it either tempers the rally and kind of slows people down and then gives you something to think about. Obviously, it's going to be biased to a certain element. Otherwise, be on the lookout if the market ignores it. Because again, in tantrum mode, market ignored the other data. But now, yeah, I was just about to tell you, Brendan. I think a lot of people forgot about the other part. Did you forget? That's the funny part right now, man. You don't know the funny part? This is what I'm saying, though. Unfortunately, nobody gives a shit. Bro, you have this CPI tomorrow. So, yeah, you have hard data tomorrow, but in a weird way, I'm not even, I don't even care. I don't even think, I do think it could change things, but today was too big. And then, again, Friday, sadly, I'm placing more value. Yeah, I'm on soft data, bro. I know. Do I think the hard data is not valuable? No. I think it's actually the most valuable. But unfortunately, I don't think the market thinks it's valuable. So just like today, the minutes came out during all of this. I wouldn't have wasted my time with the minutes because the money really cared about what the fuck just happened, the pause. But the hard data, even though it could be delayed or not, doesn't really matter. So I actually think CPI, and again, I think I was saying it today, I don't want a rate cut. I was telling Chad before all of it, before the bond auction, before the pivot, I said this all live on stream. I was like, dude, I don't want a rate cut. If you think I want a rate cut, you don't know me. I was just trying to tell you guys, if the bond market breaks, somebody has to step in. That's it. You were just running out of options. That's why I'm like, I don't think that's what you should have done, but that was your only option if you were about to freeze all of the fucking funding in the world. So, same thing here with the hard data versus soft data. I think the hard data is critical. I think that's what really matters. But unfortunately, in tantrum mode, the market is sadly moving towards consumer sentiment and soft data. So that's what we got to watch. But we'll see how it all plays out. Either way, my friends, I'm glad you guys were prepared. And I'll see you tomorrow. Either way. And that's the point. With all these watch lists, take them into consideration. And if you are there live, the beauty of having me there is that we could adjust and ride with it. So you know how CPI dynamics work, right? We like low CPI. We don't like high CPI. We like low core CPI. You know what I'm saying? But be on the watch for it in the morning. But I wouldn't get too distracted by it when it's all said and done. So keep that in mind. That is key number 2. And then finally, are you ready? Are you ready for tomorrow? Tomorrow will be a shit show pricing-wise. Okay? And I'm talking about the options. So I think the options tomorrow, I think you're either going to get a squeeze and options are going to go crazy, and you're not going to really have a real pullback to enter into anything. Otherwise, you just move fucking 12%. you are about to have the most ridiculous price hangover on options you've ever seen. So that the latter is going to be worse. Sadly, it'll be way easier to play a squeeze, but price hangover is going to be very difficult because that means you're going to gap up a shit ton, have a big difference between cash open and pre-market, and then now every out of the money is going to be so out of the money, and then the near the monies are going to just have a crazy premium, but they shouldn't be like that. You get what I'm saying? And then you're going to keep, and then any sort of headlines, that's how they're going to take your money back tomorrow. So I'm telling you, make no mistake, if you don't have a good read tomorrow on the options and you made money today, you better not give that shit back tomorrow. And how you're going to give it back is by scaling up because you made a fuck ton of money today. And then you're going to fall for the price hangover. And now, since you're such a rich guy, you're going to be paying all these big bills for options that are worthless. But you got it like that since you ball it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you got to watch out for. Do not give it back tomorrow. Like I'm saying, if it's a squeeze, that's easy. You could ghetto spread, ride some out. Again, if it's only one direction, that's it. That's easy. Then that, because if you'll figure it out, even if, be careful and then don't try to fucking short it the whole time. But I'm getting prepared. Take a price squeeze, but be prepared for a price hangover though. Okay, I'm just telling you, it's going to be a shit show. You just moved. Again, I haven't seen a move like this. I just started trading the last time the market moved like this. You know that? I started trading 1 year before you ever saw a move like this in the market. So if this was the biggest since Lehman, I only had 1 year under my belt. Isn't that funny? So think about that. I've never seen this in my life. I have, but I haven't. I definitely did not know about options then. So be careful. That's why I'm saying tomorrow I have zero expectation. Like I'm saying, I'm preparing for difficulty. I'm going to err towards caution in terms of what options to buy and the prices, but I would just be open, be ready. But we don't really know what's going to happen with the pricing. I'm telling you, it's actually wicked. You might even get a weird repricing, and we don't know what's going to hold. We don't know China, any other thing. And guess what? You got bank earnings too and the CPI. So like I'm saying, bro, it's going to be a very, very weird one when it's all said and done. But what should you get out of this? Out of this key, I want you to be prepared on how to trade tomorrow. And at the end of the day, at minimum, the objective is to avoid buying shitty contracts. If it's shitty and cheap enough, that's fine. But if it's shitty and expensive, that's not fine. So that's the play that I did today. And you'll see, I'll show you the stream alert. This one was just wicked, bro. No, don't look. This is your stream alert. So I sold my apples, and thank you guys. Thank you for the not only signing up, being members, all that, but I remember I was asking you guys a couple weeks ago, and I was like, listen, I'm a crackhead. I look at a lot of options. I was like, I don't want to bug you guys, but I was like, do you want me to stream alert options that I'm looking at? So not all of these are plays. Like I'm saying, I'm sitting here, I'm doing my work if I notice something. And that's why, like, middle of the day, we're getting ready, auction, all that. I said, this is going to be the shitty call. I even said it's a shitty call. This is not a good play. What a 535 call. It's a shitty play. And then look it. The price was at 50. So do you see what I was saying? This is what I mean, like with my options, and this is what I've been doing. If you haven't realized it by now, we're not just buying anything. I'm literally hunting these. Like, I am a predator. I'm sorry, I am. I'm going after them. I'm going to fuck these market makers up. God willing. But it's very simple. because I'm finding these values or I'm looking at them, but I'm saying, look, that play, even though right now it's at 50 cents, you want this one at 30. At that risk to reward at 30 starts to get good. And then again, I waited about an hour and I wanted you, and I put out a VIX call too, because I said, watch this VIX. And I'm saying, if the VIX, if we pop, I'm like, that play is going to go to 0. But if not, it's going to go up. But that's why I'm saying, watch that call and wait for the bid to die. So then that way, no matter what happened, you know instantly where to look when we're ready to act. But then I'm giving you prices on them as well too. But that was the shitty play. So this was an awesome one, but here's the deal. I'm not telling you that just to flex on your ass. I'm telling you this so you understand what I just said about tomorrow. Your objective is to avoid buying shitty plays for too much money. I think you could get some decent out of the monies. I think you could find, God willing, some good opportunities tomorrow, right? But you got to make sure you don't want to buy the play, buy a call, buy a put, and then it goes in your direction and you're still down. Tomorrow will be a day that will happen because it's so much volatility. Do you see what I'm saying? These are the days where that's going to happen, where you're going to be like, what? Why is it my play? Oh, I have to put it, I bought. So that's the whole point. So that's what I'm saying, man. All you got to do is look, be aware of what's really far out of the money, monitor some of the prices, wait till they actually decay, and you'll notice this. I'm going to give you guys a little tip right now. Are you ready? Don't look at the theta. Fuck that. This is what I want you to notice. There's going to be a time I want you to find a play that you like tomorrow, okay? The play that you doubt, right? Where you're like, oh, I want it, I don't, whatever it is, right? And I want you to keep it on watch, okay? And as you're watching it, don't buy it. But then I want you to wait till the stock starts going up. But then I want you to notice that the out of the money option did not go up in value. That's what I want you to look for. And that's when you should start shopping. Y'all should. I would tell you should pay me for this, but you literally did. So I'm thank you. I appreciate you. You did pay me. But that right there could change your life if you're smart enough. Right there. No, for real. They don't know. I know. OG game, bro. Some would call this the Frogger. But that's going to help you tomorrow. So what you want to look, again, I'm just saying, don't use this for every play tomorrow, because then you're going to miss everything and blame me and be like, I waited, I did that. No. I'm just saying, do this with one of your many plays tomorrow. I want you to just pick one play, maybe the play you don't want to take. The play that you like, oh, I can't do that. Oh, no, I don't know. Just any of them, right? Just one of them. Okay? Don't. I'm not telling you put yourself in a box. I'm not telling you to limit yourself. All I'm telling you, just get that one play, and I want you to keep it up and monitor it. And then, when the stock goes up, I want you to notice the stock hitting the high ticker, increasing in value, but then the option doesn't increase in value. And that's when you should start looking, and maybe you can pick it up or see what it does from there. Or maybe after it comes down, then the next pop, that might be the one. Or start looking at which options are actually moving. But that right there is going to, listen, this is where you're also going to get fucked up. See, this is the problem with some of this shit that I show you guys. It's a double-edged sword. I could tell you stuff that could help you out or could damage you if you haven't realized. That's why I said I don't want to influence you. So what I just told you, if you use it to try to make money, it's going to stab you back. Do you get what I'm saying? I want you to use what I told you to protect money. Y'all don't feel me, bro. Do you understand? That's the whole point I'm trying to tell you. I didn't just flex the stream alerts on you to flex on you. I'm not telling you this so you're like, oh, fuck, yeah. Okay, boom, I'm going to go find 10 plays. And no, dude. The whole point is so that we could avoid bad options tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? The point is so that we don't get trapped on shitty plays. Because if you hit tomorrow and it's right, it'll pay. You see what I'm saying? We want to maximize it, get rid of the losers, get more winners, and then again, if we could narrow down the bad opportunities, then there you go. But that's why I'm saying this is going to serve you better as a shield rather than a sword. Can you use it as a sword? You can, but I would use it as a shield and just be mindful. And that's why I'm saying you don't want to buy these shitty options, and you'll notice if you're like, oh, yeah, it's moving with the stock, let me go buy this 50% out of the money play for $100. No, don't do that if there's only a day of time. You see what I'm saying? You want that play at 1 penny, literally. And that's what I'm saying. And if you get it good enough, that's going to help you. That's going to keep you away from the plays that get slashed. And then that way, if you're right on a move, you get paid out. So I hope it helps, my friends. But now, let us get into the plays. So, you already saw it, man. Boeing and Apple. I got Boeing to the upside today. I made some of my other ones free. I added one. I wish I had other ones. I'm mad my Boeing puts aren't going to hit unless there's a negative trade rumor. But it's okay. We did good. But Apple and Boeing now. These, I think, no matter what still, you should be watching these. Especially if we have a squeeze tomorrow. I definitely think Apple and Boeing are going to be, these are the ones with a lot of attention because China, how they moved and all of it. So I'm already in it. I have Apple calls and puts. Or Boeing puts. I don't think I have Apple puts at this point. I ghetto spreaded everything, though. I made them free in the morning. Then I ghetto spreaded the Apple because I had a big position. Then I got, I think, like, what? Was it 60 or 90%? On the in the money play? I also had that because I had a bunch of puts on. No, I do have a bunch of puts on Apple. Yeah. Never mind, I do. So yeah, that's why I bought all the fucking Apple calls to hedge the puts. But ended up working out, I think, and then I got some at the bell. That was that play. So this is what I'm telling you. End of the day, I made a 400%er on Apple when it was too late. And that's what I'm saying. Just find the froggers, you'll be fine. Find the cheap options. Don't overpay. So do I want to, can I tell you something? Do you guys know when I told you I have a bunch of TLT calls? Do you want to know what I paid for 90% of them? Or 99% technically, but 90%. Do you want to know what I paid for them? Yeah. No. I literally paid 1 penny. No, not 20 pennies. So if it ever went up to 20 pennies, I would be up 20,000%. I mean at $1, Bob. Fucking Bob Barker that shit. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not, yeah, that's why it's like, if the bond market was going to blow up, I want 2,000 of those, please. That's what I write. Because again, the risk to reward is fuck. What do you mean? If you're right, you'll make millions of dollars. If you're wrong, you lose a dollar. It's not $1,000, $2,000 in this case. But yeah, bro, it's not. That's why I'm saying even then, even on Apple and these plays tomorrow, this is where we could use some of these plays to our advantage. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of the key. Oh, believe me, I sold a lot. I sold half of my 535s. I sold them at 80 cents. Because I made it free. So I sold half, made it free, but then I sold another set at $6, and then I sold the last one at 11. But it's okay. We have gotten so many of these. So whether you missed every play today, or you hit it, or you sold early, you have to understand, Chattadonia. I told you there's going to be a big harvest. And there's been nonstop plays. You know what I'm saying? So you have nothing to worry about. Your best strategy right now, clear your mind, move forward. Don't bring that shit into tomorrow. You bring the info, you bring the what's going to help you, and then that's it. Clear slate, go. Just trust me, one of these moments, you are not going to regret making him free. You're not going to regret it when you do. Like I'm saying, I've sold a lot of shit really fucking early. You're not going to lose. And then you will still be able to get ahead of these, but you don't want to have the other one. No, I'm telling you, that's how you're going to do it. This is that's the next test. You see what I'm saying? The test is being in the storm and not acting like that. You're right. It is the storm following you, and it has that feeling. That's the point. You have to learn to woo-saw, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? The boat rocking. You see what I'm saying? Peter looked around type beat, you know? And you have to be able to keep going. Find a good plan. Stick with a good plan. React to what you have, but not the circumstance. Do not let that sway you. That's what I'm saying. If you are notice if you're going in the right direction, not if you're going the right speed. That right there, because again, eventually you're going to run into something. I promise you. But if you are overthinking it, you're going to, I think this is what do they call it? Isn't this like 2 inches to gold theory or whatever? Something like that. Oh, yeah, I know. I got burned. I got burned on puts right away. I even did a market order. They overfilled my price. But then literally by the time I realized, I'm like, what the fuck? He just paused it. So I took a loss. Somehow the volatility, I lost 50%. I should have lost way more. But the volatility gave it a bid. And then, yeah, that was it. 3 feet to gold. Yeah, that's the theory. But either way, Apple, Boeing, and again, we're going to have many more by the end of the year, my friends. But that's play number 1. Play number 2 now, TLT. The bias is towards the upside now. I do think, again, I'm biased because I own a shit ton, but it just generally now, if it starts moving with the market and the market goes up, and now that most of the tariffs are paused, see if this eliminates, because remember, the bonds weren't this bad prior to all of this fiasco. And then now it does change what I was seeing in terms of, holy shit, something's about to break, someone has to fix it. That may be off the table, but when it's all said and done now, let it recalibrate for a little bit. I do think the next 2 days will be confusing on bonds still. I think TLT, you're going to have people covering, and you're going to have people still in the denial stage about this kind of being a little baby pivot. You know what I'm saying? So give it time, but what we want to notice for, and this is what I'm saying, for in terms of recalibration, just pay attention. How reactive are the bonds to data tomorrow? You're going to have CPI, so that'll be your first thing to watch. But then the second thing, you just want to see if the bonds are actually going to, what is it? Oh, I blanked heavy. Oh. No. What is it? Oh, if it's going to move with the market. That's it. So, no, not the recount. I forgot the first one. The easy ones I blank on. But yeah, you just want it to see if it's going to follow the market tomorrow and then what it does with the data. Yeah, it is post-leg day. But point is, TLT, small bias to the upside. I do think it's one you're going to want to watch, though. If it ever gets to that danger zone, though, now, I think we have a very, very good piece of info. But things are changing dramatically. So just keep in mind, if the bond market levels out, this will be much different than 48 hours ago. So that is play number 2. And then finally, play number 3. This one's good. I made a play on this one, but they didn't move up, believe it or not. These were shitty weeklies, but I like them still. I think these might hit tomorrow. Does anybody know? Let me ask you. This will be a quiz. Does anybody want the quiz, actually? Does anybody want a Stream Alerts discount? If you want, would you like a Stream Alerts discount? Only one person. Okay, Jalen. Do you want it? Jalen. Only Jalen. Oh, no, you already saw it. I didn't even ask the question. Nope, never mind. Burn it. Jalen, you spoke too soon, dog. Nah, he already saw it. Yeah. He snitched on himself. That was crazy. Well, yeah, Walmart. Yeah, you saw it. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because it's an elephant in the room. I was going to ask you guys this question. I was going to ask you, what company today reaffirmed Q1 guidance and left the full year guide unchanged? This was in the morning. So before any of this happened, Walmart came out, reaffirmed their guidance, and said, yeah, we don't need to change anything by the end of the year. Bro, that's huge. I think this is the elephant in the room because nobody gave a shit till Trump backed off. That's why I'm saying, do you see how different tomorrow could really be? Let's see if we get a recalibration. Let's see if the market reacts now to other stuff because it was ignoring whatever it wanted. But dude, that's crazy. Bro, Walmart, because think about it. You just had everybody forecast a recession, everybody freak out, companies trying to buy a car, do this, do that, do this. Oh my God, be worried. And they're like, nah, our quarter, same guidance, full year, is going to be fine. That's crazy. But yeah, that happened before all of it. But watch that, because I think that could say something about well-positioned staples, well-positioned consumer stocks. Some of them might have a really good earnings now, and that's what you guys got to think about. I'm going to give you a heads up right now. Long story short. Oh, man, this is a good one. You guys want me to? This is a really good one. Long story short, if the market isn't getting dumb volatile and like giving this back up by like next Wednesday, next Thursday, you're going to have some crazy ass earnings. Does that make sense? And you should start thinking about it. Does that make sense? Why? Look at what I have on screen for you. Walmart today. Because that means the good ass companies now, some of them just pulled back 25%. And if you don't get the uncertainty fucking us up by, end of next week, some of these companies might just have an easy-ass earnings and now a deep-ass discount. So we'll see, and then somebody's going to catch a Grim Reaper, though. Make no mistake. I hope you guys realize, though, I'm not as bullish as you think I am right now. I like what's happened today. I think it calmed a lot of things, but this isn't your all-in moment. I hope you guys realize that. And like I said, by June, July, we'll really know some stuff. But this is what happened in 2018. This is what happened in 2022. And again, the fact that this was the biggest shift one day since Lehman Brothers, that's not good company to be in. Do you all understand me? So today was a big day. Some people made a lot of fucking money. The long term, I'm back to green on the year, believe it or not. But I need you to understand, like we said, certainty is going to be the killer. Do you all understand? I hope so. I hope you are vibing with me on this. Because I think this is actually going to be, it is probably the most critical thing. Because again, like I'm saying, it's going to, before you know it, it'll get easy to get caught up in it. Somebody asked me one day, this was the other day on a philo, and they're like, how do you know it's a blessing from God or if God's just letting you be blessed because that's all you ever gonna get and it's like really a curse? You know what I'm saying? You've probably, some of you may have had that question. I think it's a valid question, right? But here's the deal. If you're asking that question, I don't think you're in a bad place. The fact that you're asking that question. But what you realize in life, that same question, you'll notice, though, that the moments where it's really not a blessing and you're misusing your blessing, you forget about it in the moment. You see what I'm saying? right now you're like, oh, is this a blessing or not? Does God want this to be good or bad? But then there's a moment where you think about it, but then you say, nah, then you go forward. And then you start chugging along, and then before you realize it, that moment when you're not thinking about it, that's your danger. Do you understand me? So, that's what I'm saying here about this certainty. That's how I want you to like kind of move forward with this. You know, this isn't, you're asking the right question. If you're like, yeah, okay, down, but be careful. Because at one point, right now, you're like, oh, I should be worried. I should be prudent. At one point, you're not going to be. And that's the moment. You see what I'm saying? It's when you stop asking yourself these questions. It's when now you're just doing it and you're not. You get what I'm saying? It went from you were the most terrified, you were fucking calculating every single purchase because you were so uncertain to whatever. And then there you go. So I hope that makes sense. And I'll tell you this other one right now too. By the end of the year, I am not planning anything. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm not going to like do anything crazy to upset anybody or not, but I want you all to realize by the end of this year, some of you that love me now, you will end up hating me. And some of you that hate me now, you will end up loving me. Oh, no. It has nothing to do with you or me. I'm being dead serious, my friend. I've lived through this volatility. Well, welcome to volatility. This is what happens every time. Bro, you know how many fucking new friends, old friends, ex-girlfriends, you know how many random-ass friends I got now all of a sudden? Who weren't watching the watch list? You all... That's why I love you, Chad. That's all I'm saying, bro. But I'm being dead serious. I'm not just saying that for laughs. I'm being dead serious. You know why? Because I need you to understand this level of emotional volatility. If you're not, like I'm saying, it's very deep, bro. This is why I don't want to influence you guys. In the moments when I hit, you're loving it now. But I'm telling you, you might watch some things, but this type of back and forth and volatility, and you're going to get foam. Bro, I'm telling you. I made people millions of dollars. And you know what the thing that set them off? You know what people got mad at me for? Telling them to not buy GameStop or Dogecoin. That was what it was for some people. For others, it was politics. For God knows what it may be. But do you understand? That's how good we had it. That's how fucking good we had it in that volatility, that the thing that got there, like, what? You don't Doge, I hate you. Like, what? Because you guys don't get it. This is what I'm saying. Do you know how much regret was just happened today? Do you see what I'm saying? This is just one day. What are you going to do 9 months from now if you miss any move on either side and then it's major, and then you're going to look back and be like, that motherfucking, and he was just yelling on stream, and then he was fuck yeah. Trust me, I don't know how this happened. I see it all the time. That's why I said, and I realized this. I got to learn it, but I had to learn it the hard way. But for real, that's why it's like, I don't want to influence you. And I know sometimes I may get excited or what, but oh yeah, bro, you don't underestimate regret. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, it's that regret. And it will rip people apart, and it causes visceral emotional reactions. For real. So be prepared. I'm telling you right now, you guys. And that's why I'm saying, I'm telling you. And I don't want it to be like that, because if you prepare It doesn't have to be like that. You see what I'm saying? You stop listening to the bullshit. Set a damn plan and save. Take it slow. Never go full drunk on certainty or extremism. You'll be fine. You see what I'm saying? But you gotta get a level head on, man. You have to know who you're rocking with, who you're not, what's good for you, what's not. Do not get tricked into doing something you don't really love. Make your decision, and then be content, though. It's like I've told you guys this whole time, as I've been ramping up the pressure and reminding you to work because the harvest is plenty and the workers are few. I also told you, don't wear yourself out trying to get rich. And the point is, when I say that, though, some of you right now are hearing that, and I know exactly how you're hearing it. You know that? Let me say it again. Do not wear yourself out trying to get rich. Some of you, when I say that, in your mind, you just press in skip ad, skip ad, skip ad. You nodding your head. I get it. You understand it, but you're not understanding it. Do you understand me? Because I've been there. I'm more hard-headed than all of you. How many times have you seen me stand up here in front of them and say, fuck you, Bloomberg, fuck all of you. I'm a very hard-headed person. I understand you. I get it. Motherfuckers telling you this shit, and they're telling you what you are. You know what I'm saying? But believe me, you need to take this one to heart. And I don't say this to slow you down. I'm saying that some of you, I think this is going to unlock your killer instinct. I'm just telling you, the lion isn't worried about his food, motherfucker. Do you get it? Even if he's starving. 5 years ago, I told you, an OG once told me, even if you hungry, never move like you're starving. That's a 2020 line. Like I'm telling you, a lion he's not worried. He's not stressing about hunger. Do you understand? So I get how you hear it and you're like, yeah, whatever. All right, whatever. Nah, you don't understand. I got this. I got to get this. Nah, this is my moment. There's these opportunities. Oh, believe me, I get it. I'll call it for you, bro. But I'm telling you right now, you must take this to heart, because that worry is neutering your killer instinct. I really believe it. I think some of you got a great shot. You got great skills. You got it in you. But this little bitch shit is stopping you. Do you see what I'm saying? And guess what? If reality is difficult, you get around that by budgeting and planning, because then that's it. Because you're telling me, well, I got to worry about this. Okay, get a budget, set it up, operate within that framework. That's how we can navigate it. But you got to really chill. So, either way, this volatility is going to be nuts. And like I'm saying, it's going to be, if you're stressing out and you're getting regret, bro, by the end of the year, bro, you're not going to, trust me, you're going to be mad at things. And it doesn't have to be like that. I'm telling you this now in advance. So you know why? Because I'm not going to feel as bad when it happens. But you need to actually decide if it is valuable. What is valuable to you? And go at a good pace. So, amen? Amen. Amen. I think that's it. I don't have any more keys. Yeah, we're done. So, yeah, I didn't even plan on ranting like that, but I hope it helps. Amen. Amen. There you go. Well, if you have any questions, we've already been here for literally an hour, so you let me know. Not adding. I wanted to add today. Believe me. Bro, did you guys not see it? Can someone tag it? Can someone go to the thing? Is this recorded? It's not recorded. Joshua Okosanya. Unless I'm a really advanced AI. Okosanya. Yeah, no, it's live, bro. Bro, can someone tag it? Dude, I was literally trying to start the ETF account today. No exaggeration. You guys remember when I told you I was going to make a SPY account? And it was because we were talking about it. And somebody said something so prophetic. Because he was like, well, at least you're not starting at a top. And I was like, yeah, I love that. Because that's what I was telling you guys. Do you know why I just got quiet? I said this earlier. Because at one point this year, end of last year, beginning of this year, I was banning Chads. I was banning Chads who kept asking me to buy stocks that I was up on. Just think about that. All of our long-term rules. This year, I started banning people. Because I was telling you, I was like, you guys, stop. I'm like, yeah, it's all fun and game. I'm like, you don't want to do, that's not a good idea. We don't want problems. I want good accounts. We could build it. I said, stop bothering it. Stop misleading people. Stop trying to get them on this. You guys are being crazy. And you guys thought I was being nuts. Well, I guess not. But why? This is why I wanted to start the ETF account. Because I thought about it today and I was like, you know what? That guy's right. I'm like, we're not starting at a top. Everybody wanted me to start at the top. Every day. Everybody always wants a long term when we're up. And I tell you, don't. I say, listen, get the long term. Start with the names that are down. Don't buy a name if I'm up on it. Everybody wants a long term at all-time highs. You guys all wanted me to start the SPY at record highs every time. And that's why when homeboy, we were talking and he said it, and I was like, you know what? This is the perfect time because it's such a adequate time. That's it. I said it all day today. I was like, I think the SPY can go lower. I really do now. I think the SPY could go lower. And that's why I said, I don't think it's the best price. I don't think it was the worst price. But I thought it was a good price to start. Because like I said, at least you're not starting from a top. That right there. That was so beautiful. So I tried to buy SPY, but I wanted to use $200, so we could deposit on the account. I used the random account. I thought you could buy fractionals on Schwab, but you couldn't. Tier. So I pressed the order, and then it wouldn't let me. And then, but now that shit's up 10%. I ain't buying that. Fuck you. That's crazy. You got to wait now. So, yeah. But it was mind-blowing, dude. But I do think, again, I really wanted to buy, but my cash was low. And this is a good point now because now we can talk a little bit about the long term, and I'll show you. But because I think now, even this little movement, you better figure out what you like and don't like. I don't think you feel me. Do you realize what this last couple of weeks just showed you? No, I tried to use the website. It wouldn't work for the SPY. Wait. I blanked on the question. Long day today, chat. I'm looking at the long term. What did I even ask you? Oh, yes. What this last week shows you. Long day, bro. I increased my weight on calf raises. This last 2 weeks, last month, it showed you where your portfolio is vulnerable. Do you agree or disagree? I think it does. Because I did find out my portfolio is vulnerable too. But mine's vulnerable in a different way. Mine was literally the cash. Because even though I saved up for 3 months, didn't buy anything, there was still a point where we had to suffer. Now, we got hit last. We were last in line. So literally, I just went red a day or two ago. We were the last ones to get hit if this was the bottom, which is awesome. Because then we're going to be the first to go up too. But you see where your portfolio cracks. So if you were going negative last week, why? If you were going negative 2 weeks ago, why? Do you see what I'm saying? But this really showed you where everything, like what you're doing good on and not. And that's why you better figure it out right now. Because now if you'd been to tell me 6 months from now we go through this again, then you know what I'm saying, and you're still in and you haven't adjusted since then, like come on. And you don't need to sell anything, but you could readjust. You get what I'm saying? You could buy if you have too much growth, you get value. If you don't have cash, you keep stacking up. Again, you can move things around and you don't need to force it, but all I'm saying is that you really got to see where it is, and that's why even though I didn't add stuff and all of that, my cash is still low because like I still wanted to buy a lot of stuff, but I didn't like, again, if I had more cash, if I saved up more, I could have got stuff for way cheaper and I could have protected myself better. So my portfolio is still underweight on cash, and that was the problem there. And that's why I'm like, all right, man, I got to learn from it. So we're at 3.9% now. But that wasn't a lot because it didn't defend me the way I wanted to. Right? It was a big drop nonetheless in our other value. You know, we did good. Like I'm saying, you know, there's two things you got to realize. One, when did you go negative on the year? That's the first part, right? Again, but then this was the other part. I was talking shit today. Because, again, I see a lot of people and they were crying and they're saying my 401k or I lost a year of gains, all of it. But I'm like, what do you mean? You shouldn't have. If the only way you are back to April's on your long term is if you only bought the Mag 7 at the highest prices. That's it. Or your manager just puts you in high growth or whatever. I don't get it. Because, again, a lot of people like my 401k went back to April with the SPY. I'm like, well, that's weird. Because, again, we're way up from a year ago. But now we finally had our year-to-date red. But now we're green. So 224, this will update. But we are back to being up. So the SPY is still red on the year and the NASDAQ. But we are still back to green. And, yeah, not bad. But now here's the scar. Wait till it loads tomorrow. You'll see because it's 1 day behind. But yeah, man. Crazy. Crazy time. From the trading and long-term, good. You should. Get a house, too. I can't stress that enough. If possible. And you may think you don't have enough, but if you made 10, 20 grand, I mean, I've seen crazier ones, bro. I've seen people get houses for less. You're acting like we're back in the clear. You don't think recession is still in play? You're acting like you listened to the whole hour. So you need to fucking calm yourself with that fucking audacity. Rewind the fucking video when I'm done. And yeah, but I don't think that's a good categorization. I think you should, be nimble. And I don't think we're out of the clear. The email, not now, but later. Uncertainty, bro. A lot. VA. Don't do land. Do not do land for your first deal. Trust me. You will get stuck with it. You got a VA loan. Thank you for your service, big dog. But let me help you out. I'm not going to let you be a veteran stuck with a piece of land you can't sell. You get a crib. You get a crib that you could even flip, worst case. Get a quick bag and just use that VA loan, bro. Amen. I said a lot of things, but that's why I like documenting it. And yeah, bro, I said thank you, bro. And I really am. I'm grateful for the real ones out there because y'all fucking hyping me up and saying thank you, calling me a go, and all these things. But at the end of the day, bro, without you guys, like, who actually lock in and just see what the fuck I'm doing, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people can't even understand what the fuck I'm doing, but some of you do. And I'm very grateful, man, because, and I love that you're growing with it. And like I said it earlier, just like this sad reality, because y'all could say whatever the fuck you want, but y'all really forgetting 5 years of doing this every day for free, calling out every play for free. Every single day. I used to throw these plays out all the time, bro. And the real thing, bro, is like all I needed was somebody to take me seriously. That's what I needed. That's what I needed out of all of you. Because I'm just saying, if you don't actually take my shit seriously, I can't help you. It doesn't work. That's what I've realized. Like, you see what I'm saying? So you got people, that's why, like, half-ass, you'll even come in here an hour down the line and act like, you know what I'm saying? I've had this, but on a wild element for years, and that's why I'm just like, bro, I've realized some things. So some of you guys, you really took a chance, but it's like, man, you were willing to even like, this was clearly not about money if you've been here, but if you were willing to give me $5, I think you were willing to put aside some thoughts, and you were here for something other than just like, I don't even know, man. But I just realized that some people, if they never gave me the chance to listen, whether it was politics or whatever, I couldn't connect. They couldn't, you know what I'm saying? I could not cross the barrier to get them the info, and it just wouldn't work. But for those of you who did, like, that's what I'm saying, bro. It did require an investment, and I don't think it was a monetary one initially. I really think it was an investment of just like, you had to take yourself seriously and you had to take me seriously, and then you had to combine it. And that was the only way this was ever going to work. So I'm very grateful for the few, you know, I would take 1,000 people, 100 people, 10 people over any quantity of just like mindless, like, people, if that makes any sense. I don't care about a crowd, dude. I've had everything. I've had no viewers. I've had 15,000 viewers last week. I don't really care anymore. Again, I get limited, and I've gone through all of it. And yeah, it's just, I want to see like real growth. And I've already watched people actually grow. So I know what we could do. And again, this is what I was telling you at the beginning of the year. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, I was hammering it home, and I said we ain't playing around. But again, I need the right set of people with this, and we could do some good things. We could do some great things, bro. But all we need is the real ones, man. And that's you. That's you guys who really like take yourself seriously. Again, buy me a house. I want you successful as fuck. I want you next level. I want the Chad. It should mean something big, great. You get what I'm saying? And like all of it. That's why I'm just like, you know, and I don't want to be around people who are not going to treat it like that. And I need people who are going to take what I'm saying and are going to run it and run this fucking shit. That's it. And be a good person, but to run it. Do you get it? So you run it. What do you think I'm doing it for? No. You got to carry me up the fucking hill one day, Stanley Yelnats. So you better start fucking, that's why I'm saying, like, I can't do anything. 1,000 people who are just going to wait for me to fucking do it for them. No, that's not going to work. I'll give you everything. I've already shared with you guys so many secrets, and I just kept it real, bro. But that's why I'm like, let's go. I want to see what y'all can do. And I know it, bro. Like I said, I know, like, I am very biased towards humans. And I know we have power, bro. You got potential as well. And it's just like, yeah, so I don't know. That's where I'm like, I'm very excited about it, and it's very encouraging. It's good to know that I am throwing seeds on fertile soil. There you go. That's it. That's it. That explains it. That right there. That's all I wanted. That's all I fucking wanted. That's it. That is it. I want all of these little seeds of wisdom, info, plays. I want it to fall on fertile soil. I didn't want it to just sprout up, not get planted. You know what I'm saying? I wanted it to take root and grow into something even bigger than me and all of us. I want it to feed, and it should reproduce. That's a beautiful thing. But like I'm saying, it is, that is, it's a challenge. So at the end of the day, though, I'm very grateful for those of you who, I'm glad you took yourself seriously. And thank you for taking me seriously. And let's just keep doing this shit. And God willing, we have more time and more opportunities and have a short-term memory. Don't bring this into every day, But that's it, bro. We gotta run it. But at the end of the day, man, you guys have your responsibility. And it's in your hands, like it is for all of us. And that's why we just gotta, I'm so glad that we didn't fucking just lollygag into this year, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just glad. And one day we'll chill a little bit. And one day we'll calm down. But for now, I'm glad, bro. I'm glad we turned up the heat at the right time. So, amen, bro. So, Chadadonia, God bless you. God bless America. And thank you to the veterans. You know that? Thank you, veterans, for real. That veteran, you better not buy that land. You better get you a house with the structure. But we're going to call it tonight. Get some rest. Don't forget the lessons of today. Like I'm saying, we're going to have a really wild one tomorrow that I've never been exposed to it. So get ready. So you have a good night, man. And you have a good rest. And know that you're blessed. That, like I said today, you might want to even hype up God a little bit and kind of put it into words and realize what you're dealing with. But like I told y'all, man, don't wear yourself out. And I don't know who needs to hear that, but my brother, this is it. And you have another level to unlock, a lot of you. And it comes with peace. You know that, right? Because you can't go to the next level without the peace, because that's not the lesson you're supposed to learn. You get what I'm saying? The lesson isn't that you freak out and then you get what you want because you freaked out. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? On that note, baby, finger to the sky. To God be the glory. I love you all, Chad. I'll see you in the morning, God willing. And horn.